I'm talking to you. Yes, you. James Gunn Superman doesn't just feel like another superhero. You've seen so many reboots, your popcorn tastes like deja vu. Now you've squeezed your face? Exactly how it feels like when DC finally cracked the code. The way Windows 11 pops up updates to fix bugs, which makes it worse. Yeah, you know that pain. Update drops and suddenly your laptop fan sounds like it's taking off for space. Every time we see a reboot from Marvel, it makes human species sick. From Marvel Raimi's Spider-Man saga to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, that shows you Spider-Man's had more reboots than a public Wi-Fi router. At this point, if Hollywood announces another reboot after Secret Wars, your eyes just roll back like, cool, who's dying Uncle Ben this time? And honestly, but it isn't. It might be the exact thing that pushes them ahead of Marvel in 2025, which is funny. Gunn isn't just making another superhero film, he's making a comic book come to life. And the reason that's so important is because Gunn nailed 3 things Marvel has slowly been losing. And it starts with the way the story is told in Ironheart. Yeah, Ironheart. Remember when Marvel thought slapping iron on anything would make us care? Ironheart dropped and half the audience said, "Where's Robert Downey Jr.?" The other half fell asleep before the credits. The very first shots of Superman drop us right into the middle of his world. There's no 40-minute setup, no endless origin story we've seen 100 times. Instead, there's a quick recap, almost like flipping open a random issue of Action Comics and reading the previously on text at the top of the page. From that tiny bit of text, we already know Clark's been Superman for years. He's fought wars, lost battles, and Metropolis has seen heroes before. It's exactly how comics work. You don't need to start at issue number 1 to jump into the adventure. This is huge because up until now, standalone superhero movies never let other heroes really join the action. Batman movies are just Batman. Thor movies are just Thor. Unless it's an Avengers-style crossover, heroes stay in their own sandbox. But Gunn flipped that rule. We get Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and Metamorpho all showing up and actually doing stuff. Not just cameos, not just Easter eggs. They're woven into the story the way comic issues always mix and match heroes. Like when a monster threatens the city, Superman doesn't have to solo the fight. The Justice Gang jumps in. When Lois needs help, she calls other heroes, not the cops. That's exactly how it feels in the comics, and it's something Marvel's been avoiding because they want to save crossovers for the big team-up films, and honestly, seeing Superman casually interact with other heroes makes the DC universe feel alive in a way the MCU hasn't felt in years. And yes, that confuses some people. A few critics said, "Wait, where's the character introductions? Where's the setup?" Buddy, shut up. It's Superman, not a Netflix dating show. This not baby Superman in a rocket. I don't need Man of Steel, Maternity Edition. We don't also need to see him swipe right on Lois Lane before he learns to fly. Seeing Superman casually interact with other heroes makes the DC universe feel alive in a way the MCU hasn't felt in years. But here's the third, and probably the most important, reason Gunn Superman gives DC the edge. Tone. This movie doesn't feel ashamed to be a comic book. It's colorful. It's weird. It's hopeful. Marvel's been stuck in this cycle of snarky humor and meta jokes, almost like they're afraid of being too earnest. But Superman? Gunn leans all the way into the sincerity. Clark actually believes in hope. He doesn't crack jokes every 5 seconds. He's not another quippy Iron Man knockoff. He's Superman. And in 2025, audiences are starving for that. After years of Marvel formula, people want something that feels fresh, even if it's based on an 85-year-old character. Now let's be clear, I'm not saying Marvel is dead. Deadpool and Wolverine is still breaking records, and Fantastic Four is on the way. But the MCU has a problem. They've lost their center. They don't have that one iconic hero holding it all together anymore. Iron Man's gone, Steve Rogers is gone, Thor is basically comic relief now, and Spider-Man is stuck half in, half out of Sony. Meanwhile, Gunn just planted DC's flag in the ground with the most iconic hero of them all, Superman, and he made it work. Think about it like this. In the early 2010s, Marvel had Iron Man as their anchor. Every other story could spin off around him, and audiences felt grounded. That's exactly what Gunn is doing with Superman. Thor in Love and Thunder literally spent more time making dad jokes and screaming goats than actually being a god. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Marvel had Kang the Conqueror, one of the scariest villains ever, and what did they do? They threw MODOK in there with a giant floating baby face butt. Like, this is supposed to be Marvel's big Thanos level setup. Nobody was scared, we were just trying not to laugh at his chin cheeks. Compare that to Gunn Superman. Gunn doesn't run from sincerity. He leans all the way in. Superman isn't cracking Tinder jokes in the middle of saving Metropolis. He's not pausing to say, well actually, I'm Superman. My powers include heat vision, flight, and emotional baggage. Nah, he's just saving people and believing in hope. The audience feels it. Marvel used to do that too, but somewhere along the way they got addicted to the punchline. Like in Age of Ultron, when Ultron himself, a genocidal murder bot, spent half his screen time cracking dad jokes and singing Disney songs. Bruh, what is this? The villain that was supposed to terrify humanity felt like he was auditioning for America's Got Talent. Then you've got Captain Marvel. Nick Fury wasn't menacing anymore, he was busy playing peekaboo with an alien cat that eats infinity stones. Goose was scarier than the Skrulls. Let that sink in. The entire alien invasion plot got upstaged by a furball that drools. Meanwhile, Gunn Superman feels like flipping through the best parts of the comics. It's colorful, it's weird, it's sincere. He's not ashamed to be Superman. He's not another quippy Iron Man knockoff. He's Superman. And right now, that's exactly what people want. So Marvel fans, I know you're sweating in the back like, but Deadpool's still funny. Yeah, Deadpool gets a pass. Because he's supposed to break the fourth wall? That's why Gunn's play is genius. He's not just making one movie, he's rebooting the entire vibe. And vibe matters, because Marvel's vibe right now feels like a broken Bluetooth speaker. It used to slap, but now it just keeps crackling out weak jokes between static. But James, that's the smartest play DC has made in decades. But that's the point. Gunn is treating audiences like comic readers. You walk into a story already in progress. You don't need every little thing spoon-fed to you, and that instantly makes the world feel huge. Compare that to Marvel lately, and where every movie spends 20 minutes re-explaining who people are and what their powers do. Gunn basically said, nope, you already live here, let's get going. And that's the comic book energy fans have been begging for. Marvel dialogue suck and be like, I'm Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, I do magic. Bro, we know. You don't see James Gunn Superman walking around like, I'm Clark, my thing is flying. Now let me slow down here because I can already see a Marvel fan crying in the comments. Yeah, you with the Funko Pops in the background. Calm down. This doesn't mean Marvel is dead. It just means DC finally hired a director who didn't show up drunk on CGI.